Welcome to race number 9 of WTSS Season 7. We're at the Texas Motor Speedway, our second big speedway race of the season. Last time out in Michigan, the last big speedway, we saw Mitchell Marc score the victory in his first career win in the WTSS. But if we're talking about most recently in WTSS, we went to Watkins Glen, and Allison Figueroa scored a first career victory in the dying 5 laps at Watkins Glen with some strategic moves through thick traffic. Now, we come into Texas Motor Speedway. One of the home heroes, Ryan Reid, finds himself in the point lead. Can he keep it come the race end? Or will somebody else behind him, of the 5 drivers that could, steal it? 100 laps at Texas Motor Speedway. Jake Stevens for Rocket Atkinson Racing on pole for the second time. Jake Stevens on pole for the second time in his WTSS career in just his short 9-race stint so far with us. Rocket Atkinson Racing with their third pole of the season in 9 races. They have scored the pole in 1/3 of all entries they've ever made in this series. Stevens, his first oval pole of the season though, looking to undo what happened at Willow Springs where he never even got to keep the lead into turn 1. 100 laps ahead of us at Texas Motor Speedway, this 1.5 mile oval. Who comes out on top? We'll just have to find out. Get ready for some high-octane action at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see you for the race. We enter turns 3 and 4 of the oval here at Texas. The top 3 positions in qualifying, all taken by rookies. In fact, there are 5 rookies in the top 10 in qualifying. A lot of young hotshots out here ready to prove themselves up against the veterans of WTSS. The pace car is going to pull in. It'll be 100 laps of racing on this 1.5-mile track. Both sides of the track feel like an entirely different track. When you go through them, we come to the start zone. Jake Stevens takes the green for the second time in his WTSS career at Texas.
Oh, and he's going to keep it a lot longer than last time, it feels.
Stevens leads us into the first corner. Roberto Crown Jr. takes second away from Daniel Giroux. But Giroux trying to eye up a move back down the inside into turn 3, but can't quite complete through. Now he dives it down to the inside into turn number 3. Aggressive send for the 2 car of Daniel Giroux. And on the exit, the corner tightens up, and Giroux gets his second spot back almost immediately as he lost it. Pseudo teammate Kyle Bichelia trying to follow him through in the Audi. Giroux with a massive run on Stevens coming up at turn number 2. Is he going to lead for the second time in his first 2 career speedway races in WTSS? Giroux can't find a way down the inside. Speaking of down the inside, Chris Louviere inside on Roberto Crown Jr.
He's going to have a good run coming into turn 1.
Louviere's been touted as Maverick Motorsports' oval ringer on the calendar, along with their rookie driver Jeff McLennan, but Louviere, the experienced one of the 2. Inside. Crown hangs on around the outside and might bring Mitchell Marc with him. Oh man, Marc could not clear down like he wanted to there, and will have to give way to the 83.
Louviere sent in there, and he's going to be stuck on the outside here.
Yes, he will.
Wilhoit gets past.
There's one of our home heroes, Tristan Wilhoit, down the inside, as Crown Jr. looks to back underneath the 27 of Kyle Bichelia, who's going to try and arc it from the top lane to the bottom. Or will he? Maybe he's going to try the outside on Daniel Giroux. I don't know if that's a smart call. I don't know if that's a smart call. It's really hard to hold the outside here off of turn number 4, and he proves it. Crown alongside and passed by start-finish. Louviere down the inside to follow.
The outside has a lot better of a chance in turns 1 and 2 because there's a lot less banking.
Yes, and you can see it right there.
Look at that.
Giroux struggling through 1 and 2. Crown down the inside.
Both sides.
Bichelia has nowhere to go but to concede into turn 3. Giroux's car fired off amazingly, but he's going to lose multiple positions now. Crown, Louviere, Wilhoit, maybe even Van Dalen. Jake Stevens is loving this in his mirror right now, seeing them battle behind.
Although now it's getting a bit more single file, so they might start reeling him in.
Well, one thing you don't realize as a racing driver in the moment, when you see that battle that's holding everybody up behind you finally conclude behind you, normally the faster driver of whoever's in that battle is the position that clears ahead. That means now you have a faster driver behind you that has probably the capabilities to catch you now.
Yeah, and you can already see that his lead is shrinking.
It shrunk down to a half a second this time. Look at Sebastian Van Dalen down the inside through 3 and 4.
That was a hard send into turn 3, and
Chasing
it's gonna
down
work.
Chris Louviere and the rest of them up front. Finn Guy follows through, and Mitchell Marc as well. You get stuck on that outside through turn number 4. It is a death sentence down the entire front straightaway. Down to 3/10 now, out front. Stevens, Crown Jr. and Louviere. Look at Yuki Tamura in the 60. Getting up into the top 10. She's up to 9th now as Bichelia fires it down the inside on Wilhoit. Wilhoit does not fight it. I think he's more just trying to keep the 60 of Tamura back, and he will. Oh, late move! Bichelia down the inside on Mitchell Marc into turn 3 and makes it work. Crucially, Marc backed out of it early enough that he was able to not lose more ground on the exit of turn 4. But he might have to fight off the 17 of Wilhoit and does so. The 17 with a bad entry. Marc flies through the corner, back up to the bumper of Bichelia to cut back underneath of him and heading down to turn 3. Crown Jr. has cut it down to less than 2/10, and he's soon going to be on the bumper of the 18 here in the next few laps. At the back of the field, rough break for Bobby Frazier. Your winner at Iowa cannot find the speed today. Has fallen off the back of the field. Bichelia for 5th on Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy Saitomi's double top 5 to start the race off will be no longer, as Finguy drops to 6th and maybe to 7th as Mitchell Marc flies up to the back of him. Oh, big run for Crown Jr. through 1 and 2. Can't carry the momentum on the exit, though. Washed up a bit on the exit of turn number 2. Flatter corner through 1 and 2 means it's harder to follow and keep your speed. Logan Hill down the inside on Daniel Giroux, who his early pace has completely vanished, and he's now fallen outside of the top 10 and maybe even outside of the top 15 as team boss Alex Bignacco goes flying past. Only 13 laps into this race. Crown is on the bumper of Jake Stevens now. There's no more. He's running close. He's gaining. He's now literally basically pushing the 18 through the corners right now. This is as close as you can get without starting to make some sort of move. On the bumper, the 18, waiting for a mistake from Jake Stevens, it looks like. Getting that mistake, Stevens was about half a lane up compared to the 46 there. This is the closest he's been into turn 3, putting some pressure on the rookie. Rookie v. rookie out front here at Texas. There's one of our sophomore drivers in Kyle Bichelia. Up to the back of Sebastian Van Dalen. A car owned by Sebastian's father. We've seen a lot of this season between these two teams and this driver and team combo. Van Dalen, dubbed a wonder kid by his team boss, Marcus Atkinson. And he has proven so far that this kid can learn anything he tries to set his mind to. And if he stays in the position he's in right now, he's within a shout of taking the point lead for the first time in his 9th career race.
Trying to make the fourth person get their first career win.
Yes, it would be. He got a pole back at Memphis. Wasn't able to convert it, but Rocket Atkinson Racing have brought some absolutely fast cars, and a shout out to Seat as well as a manufacturer. They have really stepped up and committed to this WTSS program by Rocket Atkinson Racing and have really shown a lot of early speed for a manufacturer that's never driven in this series. Look at this battle back here. Scott Roush and Alex Bignacco on the outside. Patrick Smith and James Gibson on the inside. Roush is going to clear around the outside to keep 13th place. That's crucial there because that outside lane through turn 4 is not where you want to be. As Aiden Shepard takes 9th away from Yuki Tamura, another one of our home racers here at Texas. Up to the bumper of Tristan Wilhoit now. That's Brandon Krasta in the 63. The man last in points, nearly 80 points behind the next car in points. Finished dead last 3 times already this season, have shown no pace all year, but the moment we get back to a big speedway, like the team was saying, they're in contention for positions now. Shepard down the inside on Wilhoit for the 8th position now. That 42 car making forward progress. Tamura is going to try and squeeze in there and follow. And I think she's going to be able to pull it off. Yes, she will. Down the inside on Wilhoit now for 9th place on the exit of turn 4. And that might allow Krasta to follow through as well and maybe crack into the top 10 for the first time all season. That Dodge program, the one thing they are known for is their straight line speed. And every time we come to these big speedways and road courses with long straightaways like Watkins Glen, that team shows pace. Wilhoit hangs on for now, down the front straightaway. There's Sean Angel in the 58. Hamilton Autosport looked way below standard for their standards in qualifying. And are now, at least he is climbing up the order, trying to make something happen for them. Mark Nutt is making progress, but not as quickly. You're in the 57. Roberto Crown Jr. is not letting Jake Stevens breathe for a second. He's making that 18 car push all out as long as he can at the front of the field, trying to find an opening, to find a way through for the lead. Down the back straightaway with the run. Peeks down the inside. Late move. Crown side by side with Stevens on the exit of 4. Stevens holds tough around the outside.
Not really making much progress.
Into 1. Here comes Chris Louviere. And Ryan Reid, the championship leader, has blown an engine while we're trying to watch this battle.
Oh, no,
and there's absolute
crash.
pandemonium down the front straightaway. The caution is out. Who's going to lead back at the yellow? Jake Stevens, Roberto Crown Jr., Chris Louviere to the line. Exit of 4. Give the position to Roberto Crown Jr. And the rest of the field clearing out at the danger zone at the last second, right as the leaders approach. And Louviere steals 2nd from Stevens. Big crash down the front straightaway. We're going to have to go back and look and see how that unfolded. But from what I can gather, championship leader Ryan Reid with an engine failure that has absolutely caused pandemonium. And I would imagine his sudden deceleration in speed is what resulted in that massive contact between multiple cars. Into the pits we go. You'd be crazy if you didn't pit right now. Track temperatures are higher than they were during qualifying, so tire wear is up right now.
We are definitely outside of the...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The pit window is not viable at the moment. Even with a couple cautions, you cannot save 20 laps of fuel with a couple of cautions. There will be another pit stop in this race.
Which is the first time it's going to happen this season. Hi, Giroux. All right, he's up here.
Louviere's out first. Louviere gets out of the pits first with a wicked pit stop. And Stevens With a slow stop, he's going to fall back to 6th place. Oh, and it looks like slow on the left side for the 64 of Alex Constantine as well.
He was pretty far back. He was pretty far back anyways. He dropped like a stone after the start.
And out of the pits, it's Louviere, Crown Jr., Van Dalen, Bichelia, Marc, Finguy, then Stevens. Then it's Tamura, Krasta, and Wilhoit. The top 10 out of the pits. Chris Louviere, the race leader now, under this caution at Texas. Let's go back and look and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the race. So it was championship leader Ryan Reid coming through 3 and 4, and just an absolutely catastrophic engine failure. And nowhere to go for any of those behind. They could not see through the smoke, could not stop in the oil, and just, I feel almost every single soul that was behind the start of that crash ended up getting involved in it, with the exception of Bobby Frazier, who was so far behind he didn't have a chance to get involved in it. And that will bring multiple cars' races to an end. And we thought was giving Roberto Crown Jr. the race lead, but ultimately, that lead was usurped immediately in the pits. The drivers that have retired from the race after that accident here at Texas are Ryan Reid, Elijah Innes, Chonarong Wongzawat, Ray Takada, and Ryan Bolden, one of your home heroes. 2 of your home heroes. Louviere leads at Texas. Can he maintain said lead on the restart? Let's find out and get to that restart, shall we? It'll be a lap 28 restart here at Texas. It'll be 73 laps to go. The pit window is non-viable. Maybe if you get 3 cautions, you can start thinking about making it to the end. But right now, it's go until you can't. Green flag back out at Texas. Chris Louviere, the leader. Roberto Crown Jr., Van Dalen, your top 3. And Crown is immediately down the inside into turn 1. Catches the 83, sleeping into the first corner.
Immediately taking back was his.
These aggressive rookies, man, they just want it. They want it bad, and they want these victories quick and early in their careers. Mitchell Marc down the inside, 3 wide.
3 wide.
On Kyle Bichelia and Chris Louviere on the exit of 4. Contact is made! Bichelia and Louviere get together. Crash down the front straightaway. Hard hit for Aiden Shepard. Tristan Wilhoit involved. Everybody trying to get slowed down, and we have a massive pile up on the front straightaway.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone from Texas,
like half the
I think,
field.
has been destroyed in this race.
That's got to be half the field, if not more. Roberto Crown Jr. leads back at the caution, but I have never seen anything like that. On the restart, Marc just diving it down the inside 3 wide and ultimately taking out half the field. And we've got split strategies now. People trying to come in maybe from now from this point, you could try and think about stretching the field to the end with the assistance of a caution.
If it wasn't good then it definitely isn't here. I think everyone is going to have to pit still.
Because it's going to be it's 65 laps is about the maximum you can make it on fuel from the moment you exit your pit stall. With an assistance of a caution, I don't think you can make it 70 laps or 71 laps like this. But
it would have to be constant.
It would have to be another yellow.
Yellows.
There would have to be another yellow to involve you.
Plus, I don't know if it'd even be worth it.
That is a massive accident, and one we're just going to have to unravel and find out who got a piece of it and who didn't. Roberto Crown Jr. leads at Texas. Let's go find out and see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day on lap number 30. So they were coming into turn number 3. Mitchell Marc dived it down the inside 3 wide on Chris Louviere and Kyle Bichelia. We've seen 3 wide moves in the past year before, but Marc squeezing up on the exit into the side of the 27 of Bichelia, taking the 27 clean out, involving Aiden Shepard with nowhere to go, Wilhoit, Patrick Smith, Mark Nutt, and multiple others' cars.
Half of the field, the entire back half of the
I
field.
literally think that Arnie Nugroho was the only car in that entire group that did not get destroyed in that.
There was some good avoidance by Finguy avoiding getting into.
I have to give a shout out to Sean Angel with quick thinking on his feet. Flies past and barely scrapes Aiden Shepard on the way past to sneak through that accident.
I think I missed the wreck because I bumped into the handle.
You did. You pushed Marc Nutt up the racetrack.
Okay, it wasn't because I hit him.
No, you just had the right line, but Marc Nutt gets a piece of it. Voiles pounds into the back of the 77 of Patrick Smith. Let's look at Nugroho now. I believe the only driver who did not get major damage out of this entire group. He just kind of nudged into a couple cars and got away basically scot-free. Everybody else was in it. I mean, everybody else was in it. The drivers that retired from that accident, and it's a big list, so bear with me here for a moment, are Logan Hill, Jake Stavinoff, Fabio Vitabassa, Kyle Bichelia, Aiden Shepard, Daniel Voiles, Bobby Frazier, and Chris Dodd. Massive names, once again out in another crash at Texas Motor Speedway. This time not of anybody's bad luck, but more so just first lap aggression on the restart that caused a major pile-up on the front straightaway. Roberto Crown Jr. is the leader. Here is the scope of the strategy as we know it right now. So, we have Crown the leader, Mitchell Marc in second, Chris Louviere, Brandon Crasta, James Gibson, Yuki Tamura, Sean Angel, Cale Tescar Jr., William Duncan, Scott Roush, and Daniel Drew. Those 11 names stayed out under this caution and have no significant damage that can even be visibly seen on their cars from that incident. That's 11 total people that stayed out and did not take any damage repairs or any such sort. Sebastian Louviere pit as soon as the pits were open from third place, came in for a splash of fuel and took tires. He'll be coming out in 15th place on this restart. Arnie Nugroho also pit for minor patch-ups on that car, but in reality, his car also does not have any major damage to it. Then we have Jake Stevens and Jeffrey Finguy, who pit during the last lap the pits were open under the caution for fuel only. So we will see if that pays dividends. Can they be the ones to make it to the end? Stevens, Finguy, Nutt, Smith, and G. Yon were the ones who did not have to, who pit at the end of the caution and are going to try and make it to the end on fuel. The pace car is going to be off soon here at Texas Motor Speedway. It's Roberto Crown Jr. the leader. And as we come to the restart, there are 27 cars left in this race of the 40 that started it. And I would say about 15 of them are within a shot of winning because they just don't have damage. That's the state of play we're in now. Crown Jr. takes the restart. We're back underway at Texas Motor Speedway. Let's see where everybody stacks out now on this restart.
Later in the race too, you're going to see lap cars are going to be a huge factor.
Huge factor
are on the speedway.
And it's going to really tell where people are at based off of how they catch him. And I think Giroux had a bad restart because he actually got overtaken by a couple of the damaged cars there, but he immediately re-overtakes them down the back straightaway. And we have some damaged cars coming into the pits, trying to do more damage repairs. I think they stopped their damage repairs because of the pace car coming around and didn't want to go a lap down. So we're going to have to see who out there is actually going to be committed to trying to finish this race. Yeah, we got damage repairs for a few of them. Hu Jian is out of the race. They don't think they can fix that after all. And the rest of them are Mitchell Carter, Allison Figueroa, and Alex Constantine, all in the pits.
Cars are destroyed.
Eugene DeMax is also one of those guys coming in for further repairs. Roberto Crown Jr. the leader, lap 35. Chris Louviere back down the inside for second place on Mitchell Marc. Brandon Crasta
up here
in the 63, firing it up towards the front of the field. Sean Angel, William Duncan, they're all making forward progress.
Man, some people that we haven't seen in the front all season are up here.
Some more circumstantial than others, it looks like. We saw Angel and Crasta, they were up towards the top 10 when that caution came out, when that crash occurred. They managed to get away from it and have benefited from it as a result. You can tell that 63 does not handle very good through the corners. That they have been touting their straight line speed and straight line speed only this season on that team. And it looks like the rest of the cars that came in were for damage repairs and tires. So they're all coming back out on the racetrack, but we will encounter our first lapped car within only 5 laps of this restart as the leaders are going to encounter Allison Figueroa in the 98. WTSS has the don't give up rule, in that if a driver chooses to continue on in the race, there are no minimum speed rules to stop them from doing so, as long as they are not constantly having to come back into the pits over and over again for more repairs and adjustments and causing more merging issues as a result of that.
I'm assuming it's discretion. If it's dangerous, I'm assuming they'd put them in.
It's only up to the steward's discretion if they are causing issues, having to merge in and out of the pits constantly and causing a bit of a headache for the lead lappers. But in Figueroa's case right now, as long as she chooses to stay out there and isn't constantly coming in and out of the pits in the way of the lead lappers, it's her choice to stay out there, and it's the team's choice if they want to continue to try and salvage some points. So Figueroa, she's not terribly off the pace. She's about a second slower than the leaders, but the straight line speed is where it's really hurting her. Marc and Crown Jr. immediately fire past.
The leaders are definitely going to be ruining that rule today.
The drivers that they're really going to be hurting over are Alex Constantine and Mark Nutt. Mark Nutt, crucially, is 2.5 seconds a lap slower than the rest of the field. Constantine is a second slower than the rest, a second and a half slower than the rest of the field. We are seeing a couple damaged cars actually keeping up with the undamaged pack. Those names including Alex Bignacco, DJ Curtis, and Jeff McLennan. And man, that restart speed is absolutely gone for the 63 Acrasta. He's fallen to the back of the undamaged group at the front of the field. Speaking of undamaged cars, Jeffrey Finguy has cracked up into the 16th position now, and Sebastian Van Dalen has caught the leaders. One of your drivers that pit under that caution. He has 4 fresh tires. I mean, it's only about 10 lap fresher tires, or 6 or 7 lap fresher tires, but still, Van Dalen is, with fresher tires, chasing down the leaders. Another group of cars with fresher tires trying to come up the order includes Jeffrey Finguy as well, and Jake Stevens, your pole sitter. Sean Angel to the back of the 75 of James Gibson, down the front straightaway, peeking down the inside, but those Dodges just have so much straight line speed that Gibson is able to keep ahead into turn 1. Scott Roush, Krasta, and Van Dalen now dealing with the 98 of Figueroa to put her another lap down in this race. Multiple moves going on. Giroux down the inside of Duncan for 8th. Krasta down the inside on Van Dalen for 10th. And that outside lane through turn 4, that really bites you. Bignacco is the only one who's been able to make it really work with that damage and is keeping up nicely so far with these guys and is actually intertwined in some of these battles. Roberto Crown Jr. with some great pace in the opening half of this race has pulled a gap out on Mitchell Marc. And crucially, we could see James Gibson with a late move down the inside on Chris Louviere into turn 3 for that 3rd position. Louviere digs deep around the outside and hangs on for now, but the straight line speed on that 75 of James Gibson piles him down into turn number 1, ahead of the 83 at the entry of the turn, but around the outside. Those Maverick cars have been so strong on their downforce this year. Back around the outside on the exit of turn 2. Can he clear back into turn 3, though? That's going to be the crucial moment, and I don't think so. Gibson sneaks down the inside, and I think this time is going to clear Chris Louviere by the time we get to the exit of turn number 4, if he can't hold it any longer. He won't clear him yet, but he's got assistance now in Sean Angel and Cale Tescaro Jr., and now takes the 3rd position away. There's Jeffrey Finguy, race leader, Roberto Crown Jr.'s teammate, and partial team boss.
Fast. I just think because he was behind in the pace.
Finguy was in the top 5 at the moment of the caution. He was one of the 2 drivers between himself and pole sitter Jake Stevens who pit at the end of the caution rather than at the start of the caution in some sort of fuel mileage attempt. So we'll have to see how that pulls off.
He might be one of the fastest on the track, honestly. I mean, he's...
Yeah, I'm not sure. If he's trying to save fuel right now, he's not showing it. That's for sure. 14th place for Finguy at the moment. He's now cleared all but one of the damaged race cars in his path.
Oh, that's going to be fun for the leaders. I saw those 2 lap cars side by
Mark Nutt
side.
and Alex Constantine, the 2 slowest cars on the racetrack. Especially Mark Nutt. How quickly can he clear him?
Oh, this will be fun.
Great heads-up driving from Crown Jr. there. And Mark will also find a way down the inside, so neither driver is going to have to contend with that car for more than a corner. So that was a crucial moment for those 2. The rest of the field behind is going to have to really pick and choose where they make their moves. And now they're going to catch Alex Constantine here shortly as well. They're going to catch him down the front straightaway just like Marc Nutt. So crucially, I think a lot of these undamaged lead lappers are not going to have to really be held up much. I think they all got pretty lucky and fortunate with the timing there, and also lucky and fortunate that all of them were willing to just let them in. Eugene DeMax, man, Jake Stevens, I almost wonder if he's actually truly trying to fuel save in that car right now, because his pace is miles off of Finn Guy's, and they both pit on the same lap under that caution. It's either that or they made one of the worst chassis adjustments you can physically make to a stock car, because he is a second slower almost than the 92. It's either brilliant fuel saving or a terrible adjustment, and we won't know until later in the race. Mitchell Marc has not let Roberto Crown Jr. go. Marc trying to sweep the first 2 Speedway races of the season. He won at Michigan. He's trying to win at Texas. Krasta, Giroux, Van Dalen, Roush, Bignacco, they're all intertwined in a huge 5-car fight for the 9th position. Krasta cuts underneath on the exit of turn number 2. Looks down the inside into 3. Trying to take that position back. Looking for his first top 10 in almost a season. And he's through on the 2. And Van Dalen crucially follows down the inside as well. Oh, Chris Louviere, caught up behind the 64 of Alex Constantine, is going to lose out to those around him. He's going to drop back to about 7th as a result of that. His teammate William Duncan approaching in the 66. Krasta clears Giroux, who looks to be struggling once again as the run goes on, just like in that first run. And there's Jeffrey Finguy. He's now cleared Alex Bignacco for 13th place. He's now ahead of all the damaged cars in this field. That 92 car is wicked right now. Absolutely flying. But we saw that at Michigan too, so they've just got a great Speedway package underneath them.
I think, funnily enough, a lot of the slower cars, even if they have damage, are actually happy that this wreck happened, because they, considering how many people are out of the race now, they get free spots from it.
Some of these
I'm
people
thinking
were...
like Mitchell Carter. Mitchell Carter's very off the pace, but he's going to be in...
It's a points game
middle,
in a weird way, yeah. Mitchell Marc is losing
from
touch.
survival.
Yeah, really is. Mitchell Marc is losing touch with Roberto Crown Jr. a little bit here, so we'll have to see. Maybe he's just cooling his tires off, trying to make a big push for the lead once again, but right now, the fastest man on the racetrack that isn't named Jeffrey Finguy is 3rd place James Gibson, and he's trying to make inroads, but there's a chasm between the top 2 and the rest behind them.
Mitchell's actually not that far off the pace. Carter.
Something is gone amiss on the 18 of Jake Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He has just been overtaken by Eugene DeMax, who is a lapped car.
I wonder if something happened because... No, I don't know, because he was a second off the pace.
He didn't get involved in anything.
Either this is the worst chassis adjustment in WTSS history, or this is the greatest attempt at fuel saving we've ever seen from the 18, because he is borderline right now. He pitted with Finguy on what looked like an attempt to make it to the end on fuel, and Finguy does not look like he's saving. He is going full push on those fresh tires. He's actually overtaken Sebastian Van Dalen.
I wonder if that was a strategy with how many less people are in the race.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sure he was assuming he'd be able to pass him in lap traffic.
Speaking of lap traffic, Mitchell Carter approaches the leaders now.
And it's going to be a big issue, too, because that's a pretty fast lap car. It's not slow
Faster
by any
lapper,
means.
and he's got fresher tires than the leaders. But the straight line department is where they're going to make up the difference here. And
has
down
every
the inside,
right to defend his lead lap.
he has the right to, but down the inside into turn 1, that speed differential right there is going to carry the 46 alongside, and once they get on the exit of turn 2, that straight line speed deficit will fully pull him behind the 46 here, as he does into turn 3. Carter goes a lap down in 23rd place.
Mitchell Carter, also soon to be a Texas resident. So this is technically a home track for him as well. I mean, he lives close anyway, but it's probably the closest track.
Man, the long run speed on Dan Giroux's car, in that first run I thought it was bad, but it's really showing how bad it is now. He's now fallen behind team boss Alex Bignacca, who was involved in that accident.
Damaged vehicle, yeah.
Finn Guy has caught Krasta now for 9th place.
Finn Guy is definitely not fuel saving. Oh,
he's peeking inside into turn 1. He's not going to get the run this time through 1 and 2.
The 92 trying to make the most out of these fresh tires before they equal out.
It looks like Mitchell Marc had a harder time getting past Mitchell Carter than Roberto Crown Jr. did. Possibly caught him at a worse time. We have a car in the pits. That's the 57 of Mark Nutt, but he is the slowest car on the racetrack. I almost just assume this is, they're buffing out more of the damage and putting 4 tires on the car and just sending him back out there to go to the end of the race, because that is enough to make it to the end of the race on fuel. So he's just they have no strategy to gain. They're just doing that to pit to get to the end of the race. Finn Guy's gotten Krasta for 9th. That 92 car is now chasing the lead 8. Mitchell Marc approaching 2/10 quicker than Roberto Crown Jr. last time by with 40 laps to go.
Better lap. It seems like he may have been cooling his tires there. I mean, just a little bit. Or it could be a bigger fall off for Crown. Oh my God, look at him on the front straightaway.
The gap closes another 2/10. Marc now right up to the 46. But he actually gets a worse 1 and 2 there. Crown carries way more speed.
I wonder if there's some, if there's an aero disadvantage with Marc, because it seems like in the corners that dirty air is making him a little bit tighter.
Well,
because he's gaining him.
Yeah, we'll
on
just
the
have to find out as this run goes on, especially with the tires getting older. As we see this group of cars with Gibson, Angel, Tescar, and Tamura all catching Mitchell Marc at the same time here. Or Mitchell Carter. Finn Guy gets Duncan for 8th. It feels like every time we pan back over to this guy, he's making a pass. Duncan fights back around the exit of turn 2, but if he can't clear him before turn 3, he's not going to be able to fight it much through 3 and 4. And through 3 and 4 he goes.
I think I bogged down a lot.
On the outside lane of turn 4, yep. Duncan has to concede way. Marc closes back into that 2/10 of a second bubble. Can he maintain it? Krasta down the inside of Duncan on the exit of turn 2, with Sebastian Van Dalen helping him down the straightaway. Oh, look at that run around the outside from the 66, though. Trying to clear on the exit. Can't do it.
Oh,
just barely. Marc loses a 10th once again to the 46. You may be right about that dirty air and that aero disadvantage for the 28. He is right there hovering around that 1/4 of a second mark behind the 46 of Crown Jr., but has not been able to successfully get through as Duncan successfully fends off the 63 of Krasta. You'd almost think Jake Stevens got a massive piece of that accident earlier. He's just barely caught DJ Curtis for the 16th position. But again, we won't know if he's doing some crazy fuel-saving strategy until the dying stages of this race. We will really start to find out then. Finn Guy has flown away from William Duncan, just sailed away. 29.8, 29.9, then Gibson's group did 29.8s and 29.9s.
His tires are starting to, equalize.
29.9 for Finn Guy. He's equaling the leaders right now. Now having cleared the 66 of Duncan. There's going to be more lap traffic to catch. Nugroho.
Wow, Arnie is terrible in the corners.
Yeah, Nugroho just struggling through these turns. Nugroho, Engritz, and Smith. The next three they're going to encounter is Sean Angel. Peeks one down the inside on James Gibson into turn 1. Cannot carry the momentum as a result, though, of that shallow entry. And now puts himself vulnerable to Cale Teskar Jr. on the run to turn 3.
I underestimated how bad the tire degradation would be. These guys are much slower in the corners.
They're about a
especially 1 and 2.
second slower per lap. They're losing about a half a second per corner. I would say
1 and
probably,
2,
I'd
bogging
probably
down
say they're probably
incredibly.
losing about 3/4 of a second through 1 and 2 and a 1/4 of a second through 3 and 4.
Yeah, a pass is not guaranteed if you try to make it in turn 1 anymore. If you're on the inside.
Yeah, 3 and 4 is where you're going to want to make your moves.
Especially with these cars with these rough handling setups, they are really struggling in the beginning part of the lap.
Mitchell Marc making his presence known once again in the rearview mirror of the 46 of Roberto Crown Jr. It's a 1/4 of a second between the two of them once more. Back to that bubble we've talked about.
Mark actually carried a lot more speed in
He
the
did,
turn
but
1
his
right there.
exit speed is compromised as a result. Lost a lot of time on the exit. Sean Angel, after trying to make that pass on James Gibson, is still trying to regroup and defend from Teskar and Tamura. Krasta versus Scott Roush for 11th place back here.
Kras's handling seems to have gotten worse as the run's gone on.
Yeah, and that looks to be the same symptom that James Gibson is feeling right now. Is there's one of our lappers that the leaders are not going to have to deal with. That's Patrick Smith into the pits for 4 tires and more damage repairs on that 77.
Final stop, I'm assuming.
That should be to the end of the race. Yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like whatever issue was causing Mark not to be 2.5 seconds off the pace is no longer there. They must have finally fully fixed that car as best they can. He's now running about half a second slower than the leaders on those much fresher tires. But he's not crucially miles off the pace anymore. Jeffrey Finguy was the fastest car on the racetrack by 0.2 of a second that time by.
That was catching the 69 as well.
Yeah. There's that tire advantage that Carter has. And then on the exit, on the outside lane, and then the straightaway speed deficit he has.
Yeah.
That'll allow Duncan to
immense.
file it down the inside right here.
Oof.
But that's an awkward spot for the 66 to catch him. That's the closest we've seen the lead gap all race between these two. Mitchell Marc to the bumper of the 46 of Roberto Crown Jr. Through 3 and 4 he went.
As you can see off of 4, the gap widened a little bit. I'm going to see it through here.
It's a
now.
closer
See-
gap at start-finish than it was last
Yeah.
time by. Marc is really pushing hard to push through that deficit he has on the exits with his amazing corner entry speeds.
The chassis on that vehicle is made exceptionally well. I mean, that is a great setup on the car. It's just the air. It's just not as good as Roberto right now.
We'll have
So
to
maybe
see
that may change.
how it fares when they catch a slightly faster group of lap traffic. And they really have to work to get past them. Man, Jake Stevens is just anonymous today.
Should we be expecting pit stops?
We should be
possibly?
expecting pit stops within the next 15 laps or so. We will only be seeing people pit in the last seconds of this race. So all of these guys are hoping for a caution. You don't want to pit if you're on the lead lap right now. All it takes is a tire failure, a poorly timed engine issue. Something. We saw it earlier with Ryan
mistake.
Reid. It's the best
Small
run I've seen
mistake.
Mark get off a turn 2 all day.
And looking at the tire deficit, would you take tires or not? I mean, it's huge
Yeah,
decisions.
in 10 laps time, you're gonna make up that 8 seconds you lose by changing 4 tires. Or it's about
just 2 tires.
it's
just
about
2 tires.
It's about 6 seconds to change to up a pit stop from 2 to 4 tires. It's about 4 seconds you lose if you go from a fuel only stop to a 2 tire stop. So you'll make up
Yeah.
that time if you pit with 10 to go. Mark with the huge run on the exit at 2.
He got
carries
that
the
run off
momentum.
the corner.
On
Oh,
the
Crown
exit
defending
into turn
really
3.
hard.
Peeks down the inside, nearly touches the 46.
Crown was defending really aggressively right there. Mark almost gave him a bumper.
Almost dead even on the exit of 4. Crown holds it very well, side by side across start finish.
I mean, we saw it earlier in this race. Marc is not afraid to make contact if he needs to.
Yeah, he has been extremely aggressive today, even to his own deficit.
I mean, it's worked out.
Marc
still side by
noses
side
ahead on the
2.
exit of turn 2 as they catch the lap traffic.
Perfect time for Marc, by the way, with these lap cars right in front of him. Perfect
if they can catch him on a straightaway, yeah. Marc clears Crown Jr. to take the lead with 22 laps to go.
Oh, but everyone's in the way.
Oh,
right
man, they might be side by side right in front of race leader Mitchell Marc. Angritz is trying to peek around the outside, can't do it. Marc, crucially,
Crown got a huge run off of 2 as well.
Crown got a huge run as Marc had to check up due to the traffic. We know that 45 is terrible through the corners, and that's where the big catch-up is, the big hold-up is between these guys. Crown's going to peek down the inside. Is Marc going to try and swing it around the outside of the 45, but is it going to be poorly timed? Around the outside, he's taking all the risks to clear this 45 car before the exit, and then cut underneath the 98. What a move, Mitchell Marc!
Beautiful planning. He saw the 45 was super slow in the corners, and the 98 was bogging down the straights, took the risk to go to the outside in turns 1 and 2, and holy crap, has it worked out for him, as Roberto Crown Jr. still has to pass both those cars at the end of the lap.
That was one of the biggest chess moves I've ever seen in a stock car, and now I think Crown has realized that that's the move to do it, around the outside of the 45, through the corners, and then cutting back down the inside of the 98 on the exit. Yep, same move, just 2 laps too late. Chris Louviere has overtaken Cale Tescar Jr. for the 6th position. As we start to get into that longer run, we're going to start to see who has saved their tires the best in these last few moments of this run for these guys. Now the question will be who has been really watching their fuel pressure gauge and who has been just pushing all out to see what they can get.
Finguy's almost caught the pack ahead of him. That is insane speed from that car.
Yes, he is. He's almost within the same corner as them now. In fact, he is. He's entering turn 3 as the leaders are coming towards turn 4. Or as the pack ahead of him. Tescar's not done with Louviere. I think Louviere may have snuck underneath of him and gotten that position when he wasn't expecting it. This is a difficult group of cars to deal with because Nugroho is so much faster than Figueroa down the straightaway. And then he's so much slower through the corners. This is one of the most fascinating dynamics I've seen. I think
I was about to say it's a very cool dynamic, but
he's finally done it.
Annoying for the entire rest of the field.
The leaders are going to catch Tristan Wilhoit in the 17 next to put him 1 lap down.
Who actually, you would see the damage, expect that car to be in maybe the latter 20s. He is in the top 20.
He's in 18th place, yep. That tells you what kind of attrition we've dealt with today. As Gibson catches Figueroa inopportunely on the exit of turn 4, cannot find the momentum to swing underneath the 98 on the exit, and Sean Angel approaches. Oh, there it is. There it is. Green flag pit stops. Coming to 15 to go. Yuki Tamura, Daniel Giroux, Brandon Crasta. They're all in. I'm not sure what went wrong at Rocket Atkinson. I'm not sure what went wrong at Rocket Atkinson, but Jake Stevens is into the pits from 17th place in what should have been him battling up in the top 10 by this point. The leaders are staying out. Marc and Crown Jr. are the ones staying out. Everybody else is already in.
I'm expecting if you want to pit earlier, this is where people would maybe want to change their tires if you have
that was a
stop.
Really crazy call from Curtis from the 2nd lane there. He was lucky nobody else was behind him. What about Marc and Crown? They're both in. Both in. Crown got back to the bumper of the 28 right as they slowed down for the pits. Now it becomes a game. Who can do the pit stop the best? Louviere's also in. Finguy is in. The last of the lead lappers are coming in right now. The only one left is Jeff McLennan.
And it's going to be really, I mean, with cars coming...
Yeah, he's in.
You don't want it, but with cars coming in and out of pit road, I mean, pit entrance here is very sketchy, so you're not hoping for it, but Something could happen.
I mean, at the same time, so many cars fell out from the
I'm
big
not
one.
worried.
Would they even have the opportunity?
What if
man.
a slow car gets ahead of a fast car
I'm
here?
not
They're
worried
gonna go
about
for
that.
four.
That's crucial. That's
I'm
crucial.
worried
Mitchell
about
Marc with a
that.
lightning
Oh my
pit
God,
stop.
a much
What a
faster
stop from the
stop.
28
Oh
of Mitchell
my.
Marc.
Oh my lord.
That was not even
Right.
close. That was beautiful.
Trying to sweep the first two speedways.
It was a
of the season.
2-second quicker pit stop for Mitchell Marc's crew.
That was, I mean, beautiful. And no advantage from Crown. That was just the same stop, just much slower.
But that's how
Tamura's actually gonna
powerful the
pass him.
undercut is. Tamura has jumped ahead of Roberto Crown Jr. That's how bad the tire degradation was, and that's what happens when you stay out 2 extra laps than the people who just pit before you. Mitchell Marc leads Yuki Tamura now by an absolutely monstrous margin.
Ooh. Again, still sketchy. Oh yeah, and this is the end of the cycle already.
It's going to be 12 to go this time by for Mitchell Marc, and he has a ton of breathing room. If we don't get a caution, it's going to be hard pressed for anybody to catch him. And he clears past the 4 of Eugene DeMax quite easily there.
Tamura just has so many obstacles between them as well.
Yeah, for sure. There's Constantine coming in. Mitchell Marc coming to 10 laps to go with a 2.6 second lead over Yuki Tamura. There's a big battle there. Van Dalen, Krasta, and Giroux all
For the
fighting
top
for 9th
10.
place. There's another one. Gibson, Angel, Teskar, and Finguy. 4-way fight for a 5th place finish here at
I think
Texas.
I actually had a good stop too, if I believe he went in.
Yeah, I obviously think they had to put less fuel in that car to get him to the end.
Yeah.
2.8 seconds now. Tamura in more traffic than race leader Mitchell Marc.
Arnie's setup actually looks a lot better now that he was able to complain and fix it under the pits.
Yeah, too little too late though, unfortunately.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
Gibson's car does not
Won't
look
be
like
slowing
it
up
did during
tomorrow
that first
today.
run. He has fallen off out of the top 5. Finguy down the inside on Teskar. He might still get a top 5 out of this race after all. Outside run for Teskar, trying to hang it. Can't maintain the speed on the exit as the banking flattens out. And he's going to lose 6th place to Jeffrey Finguy, who now is going to chase Sean Angel for that top 5. Man, if your Finguy said Tomy, you just, especially the 46 crew, you just got to be kicking yourselves. Gave up 2 seconds in the pits, and that was it.
Oh my God, that is a crazy
Giroux and
battle,
Krasta
man.
are going to war for this top 10 finish. Krasta hasn't finished in the top 10 in almost an entire season's time. Giroux is looking for only his 2nd career top 10. Both of them want it equally as bad. And we know from experience today, those Dodges really struggle through the corners, and Krasta is just hanging on the exits to carry his car back ahead on the straights. Finguy, perfect timing, catches Sean Angel having to check up from the 4 of Eugene DeMax, and is now chasing down a top 5 in the dying laps of this race. Tamura is finally getting underneath Nugroho there to put him a lap down. But that's going to open the door for Crown to maybe come back and still finish 2nd in this race. Look at Finguy all over the back of the 58 of Angel. Peaks
Trying to
down
remove air from
low.
that spoiler, it looks like.
Angel
Beautiful
on the
pass.
high side.
That's
Finn
already
guy
done.
just makes it look easy. Takes the 5th position away. And
This
if I'm
looks so
Chris
much
Louviere,
faster.
even though there's only 4 laps to go this time by, I would be worried. And Nugroho is really making a nuisance of himself with Yuki Tamura here.
I honestly didn't expect Yuki to even be in second place though. So
It looks
just
like
a bad
somebody
stop
else.
from Crown and the strategy.
It looks
really
like
helped
someone
Tamura
else
'cause
fell out of the top 10 because
I did not
Krasta
see
and
Tamura.
Giroux are now in top
Yes,
10.
William Duncan is in the 11th or 12th position. I can't remember. He's a 12th. Yes. Gibson as well fell out of the top 10. A 3-way fight for 5th. It's not over yet. Finn guy still having to contend with Angel and Teskar. He got the
They
positions.
could
Now he
catch
has to keep
Louviere
them.
still.
They're no longer
with the lap
catching
cars
Louviere
ahead.
quick enough to catch him. There is a battle for second that could still happen, though, here. As Nugroho, this is 4th position. Nugroho on Curtis, right in front of Yuki Tamura, who's in 2nd place, and trying to maintain said 2nd place from Roberto Crown Jr. 2 laps to go for Mitchell Marc. And he will try and get his 2nd big oval win in the 2nd big oval of the season. These speedway races really seem to be Turn 1 Motorsports' thing so far.
Oh my god.
Man, he's putting the bumper to the 60 through 3 and 4. I've never seen a bump and run on a 1.5-mile track. White flag in the air for Mitchell Marc. Turn 1 Motorsports bought out the old Atlantic Racing Honda, and now they have absolutely hit the ground running in terms of their oval package. Michigan, he got the pole, he ran away with it and won that race handily. And now, at Texas Motor Speedway, escaped all the chaos, ran away from it once again. Mitchell Marc, 2nd career victory here at Texas.
Not to put anything away from Mark, but there might be some controversy
Crown
after the
takes
earlier
the
incident
2nd
here
position
today.
with force from Yuki Tamura. Then it's Louviere and Finn guy the top 5 with Angel, Teskar, Van Dalen, Krasta, and Giroux. Duncan stealing
end up
11th
getting
from
it.
Gibson at the line. And then it's Roush. Jake Stevens, I don't know what went wrong with that team today, but he finishes 14th after possibly contending for the win. Benyako, Jeff McLennan, your lead lap finishers. The rest of the running order is as follows, with our DNFs being in the plentiful numbers. Mitchell
If you
Marc.
finish this race, you're almost guaranteed the top half position.
Mitchell Marc has not missed a beat from Michigan International Speedway. He's now putting himself back up the point standings order with another victory and the first driver to get 2 wins on the season here at Texas. Absolute chaos was the early half of the race, and absolutely hard racing was the story of the second half. Mitchell Marc, the winner. Turn 1 Motorsports victorious. Many drivers getting the strategy game right, many drivers getting the strategy game wrong. But after 100 laps, only one of them could come out on top. Congratulations to Mitchell Marc, your winner at Texas Motor Speedway in WTSS Season 7. We'll see you next race at Lime Rock Park to return back to the road racing scene for the last road course we're going to see until race number 23 in Monza. We'll see you there.